We're gonna move
Awesome,
over
man.
into our culture segment,
Rise up and sit down.
and our first topic of our culture segment
Die,
will
Eagles,
kind
die.
of be sports related. Okay, so for those of you that aren't aware, Calvin Johnson was interviewed by Sports Illustrated earlier this week, and basically the conversation was centered around him leaving the NFL early, if he regretted his decision and all that good stuff. So some of the things that he said was, one, he had no regrets. He smoked weed after every game, which blows my mind.
Smoke weed every day.
I'm not mad at him for doing it, but just watching Eric Reed
Get tested
getting
every
drug
10 minutes.
tested 17 times in 2 weeks. Like, I mean, I don't get how Calvin Johnson was able to smoke weed every single Sunday, but I get it. It's the lifestyle. Let me see. When he left, when he decided to retire, he had to pay back his bonus to the Detroit Lions. While the Indianapolis Colts told Andrew Luck, hey, you more than paid your dues, you keep all your money. So there's that.
This is America.
He's been asked to come out and work out with some of the Lions wide receivers. And he said he will. He has no problems doing so. But he will not do anything in the Lions Stadium. So, like, pick an off-field site, we'll go there, but he's not going to walk on that field. So he talked about his concussions. He talked about the Lions' commitment or lack thereof to winning. Just give me some of your thoughts, and I'll tell you why I wanted to talk about this later. But give me some of you guys' thoughts on this.
Refreshing that you can realize that you don't want to affect your future so much. He said that he had 9 concussions, and they lied about it and told him to go back in there and play. And the man has a family. He's looking out for his future. So it's refreshing that these players are feeling so empowered. Even Andrew Luck, that they're thinking about the long-term view. You have players like Junior Seau, which is a tragic story, and some of these other older NFL players who struggle to get out of bed every day.
Right.
I mean, the money, the financial reward is cool, but what's your quality of life afterwards?
Yep.
And so it was quite refreshing to hear him say he had no regrets. He's a truly great receiver, man, and also the one thing that the Lions organization is trash. The whole organization is trash. You had 2 superstars in their primes. I'm done. I'm done. I don't even want to play for you.
And that's what in reading that article, I actually thought about Barry Sanders.
Yep.
Reading that article, because it reminded me of Barry Sanders. Obviously, he can't do it right now, but Barry Sanders had been retired from the NFL for maybe like a decade. And when Emmitt Smith got the rushing record, if Barry Sanders would have came back and played to the caliber that we were accustomed to seeing him play, he could have retaken back that rushing title in like
easily.
2.5
Easily.
seasons.
Yeah.
That's how great of a player he was, and Detroit still found a way to drop the ball on that.
I what's interesting about the article, it kind of gave you kind of made you see just how much these NFL players sacrifice their bodies and really put their bodies on the line for these organizations who could care less about them. Now, Detroit is the extreme bad end of the spectrum when it comes to this thing, and it just speaks to what Rodney said, man. Like, Detroit is easily one of the worst franchises in sports history.
And to top it off, they're in the city of Detroit.
And they're in the city of Detroit.
I've been there. Oh my gosh.
It can't get more depressing. But I also found it empowering that he invests in real estate now.
Yeah.
He actually has some sort of cannabis CBD business. I forget the details, but the part that I found refreshing was he was confident that his life after football would be great.
Yeah.
He was not overly dependent on this organization who, for lack of a better term, treated him like dirt.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And speaking of treating someone like dirt, speaking of an organization being a very trash-ran organization, the biggest reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because we are a Charlotte sports and culture-based podcast. So I'm reading this article and I'm seeing all of these things that Detroit did. Hey, give me back your money that we promised you, even though you've had at a minimum 9 concussions and we still made you play anyway, or else you would have got cut. Hey, we're going to trade away Ndamukong Suh and I can't remember Farley out of Alabama. We're going to trade it because we're really not committed to winning. We, in a month's time frame, have come across another article of a team being exposed for the exact same thing that Michael Jordan continues to be accused of doing.
I don't understand. Bro.
I don't understand it, man.
Now, if we wake up 5 to 10 years from now and Kemba Walker puts an article out there and says Charlotte was not committed to winning and Michael Jordan just wanted his money, and that's why we drafted Frank Kaminsky when we could have got Devin Booker. That's why we didn't take Boston's 28 draft picks or whatnot.
28 late first round picks.
I have a lot of crow to eat, and I will eat it. But until I don't see Michael Jordan not wanting to win. I don't see the organization not wanting to win.
And I know what you're getting at, because between this and the Donald Sterling thing, those are organizations who truly didn't want to win, who really didn't want to win. So when some of y'all come at Hornets people, fans, us, whatever, and you come with this trash, oh man, they don't want to win. No, guys. These are examples of people who really don't want to win. And just in case you don't know where we're going with this is where we're going with this. And another thing the Lions did, Calvin Johnson, easily, if not the best receiver in his era, one of the best receivers there, he had a wide receiver coach that he truly loved. He adored. He basically said, this is the best receivers coach in the league. What did Detroit do? Let him go. They got rid of him.
And you just reminded me of something else. This was, now, I think this happened in year 7. I think this happened in year 7 with Calvin Johnson. He came into the preseason and they were wanting to run whatever type of offense. And Calvin Johnson said, no, this offense is not going to work.
He said, we are literally not going to win the game if we keep this offense. And what did they do? They didn't win the game.
They went 0-16. They went 0-16. And he stuck with him for however many more years.
And how classy of a guy was he during that tenure? Because he never heard about Kevin Johnson speak out. He never threw anybody under the bus. Even though they probably should have been, he never done it. He never did it.
And I honestly can't say that if I'm in his shoes that I don't have some level of bitterness because Calvin Johnson.
God, could you imagine what he could have been on any other team, man?
Exactly.
Figure him like on the Panthers or even like New England.
I mean, just anybody functional.
Just anybody. He could go. He could have went down as a T.O. Randy Moss,
almost definitely
type receiver.
But he was. That's the thing.
He still was. He still was.
Just add winning to that.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
I have a fond memory of Calvin Johnson. It was 2007.
I already know where you're going with this.
Clemson played Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Yep.
We shut them boys down. Calvin Johnson had one catch on us.
Now, before I say something else, I want to ask you guys a question, and you guys may or may not be able to answer this question. With as great as a receiver as Calvin Johnson was, how does a player go to Georgia Tech and become the NFL receiver that he becomes? Because, and I know you know this, Rodney, Georgia Tech didn't pass the ball.
They had an option offense.
Yeah.
That was Joe Hamilton. They did pass a little bit then.
Was that before?
They didn't pass enough.
They did pass a little bit. Yeah. He was an All-American. Like he was the truth.
Really? So they passed enough.
They passed enough.
Okay, because every time I hear Georgia
Tech, I'm thinking about the Paul Johnson era.
Yeah, that's what
it was before Paul Johnson.
Okay,
it was before Paul Johnson.
All right, well then I'll take that back. Well, speaking of,
he's a beast, man.
Speaking of
him and Vernon, the dude that plays for the Redskins now, the tight end,
Vernon Davis.
Okay. Yeah. So for whatever reason, I was thinking of it. I was thinking of that little triple option.
Yeah.
They have 900 plays and 899 of them are running plays offense. That's what I was thinking.
It was different, man. It was different back then.